Oh, hi, hello there. This is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Let me ask you something. Do you think it's even possible for XRP to hit a new all-time high? Do you think it's possible for XRP to enter price discovery and have face melt season? Have disgusting, melty, facey goo all over the pavement, all over the planet? Because here's the thing. There's a reason that I'm bringing this up, and I'm hoping that this can assuade you of your fear if you have some right now. If you're thinking, my God, XRP, this thing, and the opportunity cost, this, that, and the other. Could it ever actually go there? Well, look, fine. Look, I'll acknowledge nobody knows for sure, and you're not going to make a prediction, but I have high conviction that XRP is going to do that for a ton of reasons. But the reason that I'm making a video about this specifically right now, I mean, a couple of reasons, really. Sentiment in the community, it's the worst I've ever seen in my roughly 6.5 years as an XRP holder. Worst I've ever seen, unquestionably so. And there's also some really, I don't mean this insultingly if you're one of the people that thinks this, but there's some really bad ideas about there as to why XRP cannot, will not hit a new all-time high and enter this explosive price discovery. The entire premise of the idea is bad, the one I'm thinking of in particular. And it's quite simply that the reason XRP is not going to hit a new all-time high is because it's been consolidating. It's been moving sideways like a crap coin, right? For 6.5 years. That's the argument. So if it does start to run, when it finally starts to move up, everybody's going to be so exhausted that they got to get out of their XRP, and they're going to sell it at such low prices, it's never going to moon. We'll never make it to the moon. Win Lambo, never bitch. That's the argument. Now, I don't buy that for a second, and I'm going to explain to you why that is completely irrational and illogical with the help of an explanation from one of my favorite analysts out there who he had this post. It was just so succinct, to the point. I was like, yeah, I'm sharing that on my channel. Absolutely. Because frankly, it's true of XRP, but it's true of any coin. I mean, not literally. You could probably find an example like, for instance, if something's an outright scam. Okay, fine. You got me on a technicality, but you know what I'm saying, right? Coins, broadly speaking, are treated about the same, at least directionally. And also, I'll tell you this, like when it comes to the way that humans treat their investments, like to think that you can have a coin that's in the gutter, like Solana, and then explode to get it into the top 10 in relatively short order, to think that the humans with the DNA that they're comprised of was such that an explosive move could happen with Solana, but the same humans with the same DNA and behaviors, especially on a global scale, they can't or won't do that with XRP? I mean, it happened with Solana, it happened with Bitcoin, it's happened with ETH, it happened with Doge last cycle. I mean, pick a coin. And it has happened with XRP in the past, obviously. To think that it's not going to, it's just a weird defeatist attitude, and it's based on a complete misunderstanding of human behavior and how markets work. And so I'm going to debunk this, and then hopefully we'll just never have to talk about it again. It'll be fantastic. We're having a killer time here. So take a look at this post, and you'll see why I'm highlighting this. They're not talking about XRP in this post, but hang with me. It doesn't matter. I'm talking about XRP and how it applies to XRP. So the Spot on Chain account on social media platform X wrote the following, and they're talking about CVX, which is a coin called Convex Finance. Doesn't matter if you hold it, doesn't matter if you know what it is. I'm making a broader point. Let me just read this, and then we'll get to the breakdown. A wallet linked to Phantom Foundation sold 357,108 CVX for 1.15 million Tether, that's USDT, in the past hour, causing the price to drop about 5%. Oh my gosh, shiver my timbers. Freaking out, right? 5% in that short a time. Then they write, notably, this wallet spent, and this is crazy. Like, this is interesting no matter what. If you're in crypto, you're going to find this interesting. They write, notably, this wallet spent, I can't believe this, $12 million to buy 436,000 CVX at $28. That's right, $28 each in March 2022, and then sold the tokens over the past 2 years at only about $3.38. Folks, y'all heard that right. That's $1.49 million. That is a loss of $10.7 million, down 87.8%. So, couple things right off the bat. This is the type of behavior that I expect to see from a typical lemming retail investors. So I don't know who this is, if it's some bad leadership at a company. I don't know if it's an individual. I haven't seen word on that. But you don't normally see, honestly, that behavior, you do not normally see, even if it's an individual, you don't normally see that type of behavior with the people that have money. Because the types of people that have money, not always, but very, very frequently, don't behave like complete jackass idiots. So, take it for what it's worth. So this is a little bit different here. They bought, again, each coin at $28 and sold for about $3.38, a couple years later. It was over a period of time, but still. That is disastrous. They lost $87.8 million. Reminds me of that old joke. How does that joke go? How do you become a millionaire in crypto? You start as a billionaire. Maybe that's what this guy did. I don't know, man. But there's a point to be made here. And so chart analyst Credible Crypto, one of the best out there in my humble opinion, now with over 401,000 followers on X. Congratulations for hitting the milestone. He shared some insight here. This applies to everything. This applies to CVX. It especially applies to XRP. And it will explain why this argument of, yeah, but it's so suppressed. People are just, if it goes up a little bit, they're going to want to get out. Nope, that is not how humans behave. Here's why. Here's what he wrote. A perfect example of why the idea of old coins being bogged down by bag holders that are looking to sell at every 5% rise is not really as realistic as it seems. This is a great example of a bag holder whose sell pressure has been removed through capitulation. And so, folks, that's a key part that isn't considered. We're like, oh my God, all these people that are in XRP, they're just going to want to get out. Well, this guy already sold. What do you mean? He capitulated already. So you're talking, because again, the idea of old coins, quote, bogged down by bag holders that are looking to sell every 5% increase. Is that what's going to happen with XRP? It goes up 5%, and then it's never going to really go up to any notable degree, because every time it goes up about 5%, people are like, oh, I can finally get out. Well, this guy didn't wait for that. And this is CVX here, but it's the same humans with the same DNA making dumbass decisions, right? And so, I can't believe that. That's so much money. One coin, and on one coin. So hopefully this guy's got way more money than that. This is just some little things like, this company. Maybe to this guy it's nothing. Maybe he is a billionaire. Who knows? But my God, what a bad decision. Anyway, so that's just my personal opinion. I'm not making a prediction. I don't know what's going to happen with the CVX price, and I don't hold it. But anyway, so then he says a buyer at $28 on the way down no longer contributes any sell pressure on the way back up because he or she has capitulated and sold at the lows. So the idea / narrative that old coins will never rise again because there's too much sell pressure from bag holders is a weak one if said coin has already gone through a lengthy capitulation phase. Well, how about that? These people that are saying, yeah, it goes on, it's never going to break free though. To the people that think that, have you considered what Credible Crypto is cited here? Because what he's citing is how humans behave. And so if the price is so suppressed, and in the case of XRP, that's true. I mean, I can pull up XRP here real quick. I mean, let's pull up an all-time chart. It's been, it's been moving sideways since that all-time high up here, 6.5 years ago, roughly. It's just been moving sideways. So don't you think that a lot of people did get out and they gave up along the way? Hell yeah, they did. And then more recently, as in an accumulation period, don't you think that some new people came in and they don't feel so stressed and depressed and they haven't been at it as long? Isn't that what happens with various cryptocurrencies, not just XRP? Yes. It's true of Bitcoin, true of ETH. Pick a coin, bitch. Absolutely, that's how this works. So, this idea that XRP, it can't. Even if it starts to run in a bull run, it's just going to be suppressed again. Wrong. That argument makes no logical sense. That is not how humans behave. And I'll not be surprised if this coin, CVX, does end up running substantially. And here, I'll show you the chart. It's not looking pretty lately. And so just to be clear, especially if XRP is your largest or one of your largest holdings, it's easy to feel like, oh man, I'm doing this all wrong. I'm ruining my crypto chance. Well, that's not how this works exactly, though. You don't know what coin is going to run when. And also, I mean, we didn't know the SEC was going to attack a few years ago, so not the best time, obviously. Wasn't that fun, you know what I mean? But all that to say, you don't know, but when a coin goes, it goes. And either you have exposure when it does, or you do not. Which is why, for me, unless fundamentals change, I hold every coin that I hold. I hold 42 different cryptocurrencies. XRP is just my largest holding. It's the one that I happen to be biased about and I like the most. But I just hold. If there's a fundamental change, yes, then I would reconsider, only for that. But for the regular volatility where it's just a bunch of idiots buying and selling for emotional reasons, just the typical speculation, no, that has zero impact on me. And so to think that humans are going to treat XRP differently, it's completely absurd. And so look at this is CVX over the last 12 months. It's not looking amazing. Like, there are all sorts of altcoins that have run up at least to some degree, even in the first part of this year, say the first quarter roughly. It did a little bit and then back down. It hasn't really done a lot over the last 12 months. There's a lot of alts that have done better than that. Okay. So does that mean it's over? Well, look at the all-time chart here. So given that they bought in March 2022, you can see if you're looking at the screen here, they must have bought right at the tail end of March, as CVX had been running up for about, call it 2 weeks or so. So they bought when it started running up. They probably thought it was going to keep going, and then it went down, and then they just capitulated and sold over whatever period of time. And they're just gone now. They're out. Bye-bye. Gave up all those millions. It's just gone. So remember this, because although I admit I don't know what's going to happen price-wise with this, and I'm never so bold as to make a prediction on any individual coin, my general idea is that crypto pie get bigger, number go up, broadly speaking, for the asset class. I'll not be surprised if, just like XRP, CVX here does end up having a major impulse. I would not be surprised if that happens. I won't be surprised if there is a new all-time high, with the all-time high being $60, which occurred on January 1st, 2022. I won't be surprised if that happens. It's $3 right now. It's not a prediction. I don't hold it. I have no intention currently of buying it. I'm just sharing some thoughts out loud, because crypto pie gets bigger and you never know. And I know most coins won't necessarily hit a new all-time high, and investing in this or XRP or anything, I think it's very fair to say it's risky. Sure, absolutely. But if the crypto pie gets bigger, and if coins have utility and they're going to stick around, the market eventually figures it out, even if it takes many, many, many years. In the case of XRP, fine. It's been 6.5 years, but I'll tell you, and I mentioned this in a video the other day, XRP, it took 5 years before it hit its last all-time high. Look, I mean, the consolidation here, here you can see the peak is the beginning of January 4th, 2018. But you can go back, go back to 2013 here. It's, half a penny. And so then, you're talking close to 5 years later, it finally peaks. But if you're trading in the meantime, it's a lot of sideways volatility, historically normal for XRP. So we only have so many data points here, because it's only been trading since, I guess, 2013. So we got, about 11 years worth of trading data. So not like a crazy amount, 11 data points, in terms of years anyway. But all that to say, like, this isn't weird, and you do see this in crypto. It's not strange. So if we're right, it's going to go, and if we're not, fine, maybe it goes to zero and we're wrong, but I just don't see that making any logical sense. Not based on utility, not based on how I know humans treat investments in general, because when a green candle hits, the money rushes towards that. Whatever the green thing is, ooh, shiny. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how humans behave. So that's why I'm saying it doesn't make sense to worry about this. And so Credible Crypto also posted this. He said, he's talking about CVX here. If the lows, oh, by the way, so the price now, did I say what the price is now? For CVX, $3.03. Okay. So he says that the lows at $2.60 to $2.70 are not breached. CVX is probably the best looking chart I've seen recently for the short to midterm in terms of risk/reward. If those lows aren't breached, things are going to get explosive soon. And so what you'll notice if you follow Credible Crypto, or even if you just follow my channel and you see me talking about him all the damn time, it's because I think he's, again, one of the best chart analysts out there. What you'll notice is that when coins are low, last cycle, this cycle, he'll say, wow, this is looking like a real good setup. And then people are like, what are you talking about? It's going on forever. Look, you idiot stick. What are you talking about? And then, invariably, the coins, since we're in a bull market, do start to go to the upside. So when it looks terrible, he's like, oh, a great buying opportunity. And then it goes up and he's proven right. And I'm not saying he's a literal genius, but what I am saying, he's very good. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to have some sort of incredible insight to recognize these very basic things. The things I'm citing, because I'm not a chart guy. To do what he does, I mean, you do need a lot of knowledge. He's a trader for a career. So that's different. So I'm not talking about that. But just to understand the very basic concepts surrounding this, yeah, that's easy. So he said that about CVX, and he said the same thing about XRP. And he firmly believes that XRP is going to go well over $10 this market cycle. So we're going to see what happens. We'll find out together if we're right or we're wrong. But I've never been this optimistic as an XRP holder, not in my entire life. So let's find out together. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because if anything I say are right, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.